You're watching W Media and I'm Deborah Gray. Joining me now here at Mumbai CDC for this exclusive sit-down interview is Mr. Milan Kamkar from Supermax. Welcome to W Media, sir. Could you begin by telling us about how these new emerging technologies like AI, ML, IoT, how have they revolutionized the way you conduct your operations?
Thank you very much for inviting. It's a pleasure and honor to be here. I represent Supermax, which is fall into the CPG manufacturing company. Now, CPG has a very peculiarity of the business. We are manufacturing the products for the masses, which require the periodic and the frequent replacement or replenishment. So, the manufacturing the cost-effective, experience-centric product is very, very important for us. That's number one. Number two, we are distributing this product to the masses. So, reaching out to the customer and the consumer well before the competition and ensuring we are fulfilling their need is another important. And that's also the digital narratives for us. Manufacturing India is going to be a defining stage in the coming period because $1 trillion economy, what we are talking about, cannot be achieved without growth of the manufacturing. So I see there is a huge amount of potential and the focus from the all over the world for the Indian manufacturing because most of the countries are also looking India as a China plus one strategy. So it is very, very important for us to ensure that our manufacturing meet up to the expectations of the global consumer. Uh, my products are used by the masses and it has to be reached to the bottom of the pyramid and we have to be ensure that we meet the various requirement of my classification of the customers. Now, how this can be done? This cannot be done with the only human effort. So it has to be supported and substantiated by the digital
So
technologies.
AI in your organization is not taking away jobs from humans, it is actually helping you just optimize and do better customer service.
See, I started my career in the early 90s, and since then I'm always hearing the computer is going to take away the job. But I never ever seen the computer has taken any job so far. In fact, it has flourished the existing jobs and created a new job. So computer or technology or a new technology is not going to take any job. But again, all the technologies are seen into two ways. One is the good for the human being and second is the bad for the human being. So this all happens because of the application and the use of the technology. We as a technocrats, we are always looking for the rightful use of the application of the technology for the business purpose we are serving. Artificial intelligence is innovating the new things for me. I was sitting on the huge data so far, but there is no value was created out of that. Artificial intelligence is helping me to discover the undiscovered value of my business data for the business purpose. So I see that there is a huge potential for artificial intelligence in the manufacturing industry, especially the manufacturing which is consumer driven, especially the manufacturing which has to be a cost effective. This can be achieved with the rightful use of the artificial intelligence as a technology.
So, artificial intelligence is helping you analyze the data you already had. You had all the information, now you know what to do with it.
Exactly, precisely. So I'm driving the business value of the sleeping giants of data, what I was having, for the better performance of my business to my consumers.
So, now let's talk about, because we talked about the whole AI versus human thing, but I think with the right skill development, the human factor, the human resources can be trained to serve this industry, the wider digital industry better. What kind of investments are required in creating that kind of human capital?
See, for the technology adoptions, you definitely require two categories of human. One, those who are promoting or enabling the technology, called technocrats. They are very well versed with the technology, the growth of the technology, the fine aspects of the technology. And second is the group of the people those who are consuming the technology. We call it as a business people. Now, definitely there is a line is fading between technology people and the business people, because for the rightful use of the technology, the business people have to understand the technology. For rightful the implementation of the technology, technology guys have to understand the business acumen. So we cannot really divide technology and business or technology versus business. It has to work together. For the skill development purpose, the technology guys, they come with the graduations in the particular technology field, not necessarily the latest one. So they also have to unlearn what they learn in their previous chapter and have to adopt the new learning, which is a new technology. For the business people, they have to make the good friendship with the technology people to ensure that the technology can be bring for their business benefit, to simplify their life, to bring the work-life balance, to create more job opportunities for them. So it has to be a mutual between the technology and the business guy to learn and unlearn the things which is getting faded over a period of time.
I'm glad you brought up work-life balance. Are you saying AI can actually enable that? Because we all aspire for it.
Oh
We're
yes,
increasingly aspire
oh
to
yes,
it.
yes. In fact, the every technology and the rightful use of the technology or rightful business application of the technology has always balanced the work-life balance for the every individuals. Before, I'll go back to the ERP era. Before the implementation of the ERP, the closing of the books used to take the weeks and weeks. Now, with the implementation, rightful implementation of the ERP, the closing happens in few hours. So that's a work-life balance. Now, whatever the hours are given back to the user, how to utilize that, that's a completely individual's choice. But technology is definitely bringing the work-life balance for everybody, including the technology people.
Speaking of choices, what drives your decision to pick a bouquet of digital infrastructure? Like earlier, it was just the physical data centers. Then people moved to cloud. Then now we are talking about AI, super cloud, multi-cloud approach. How do you decide what to pick?
See, it's completely on the situational basis. When I go back to my ERP implementation in Supermax, when 2014-15 we were exploring the ERP implementations, we were contemplating the what kind of infra we should have, whether we should develop our own physical infrastructure, go for a co-locations, or try something new and different. Because cloud was just entering into the Indian market. Hardly there were one or two players, and even the people, those who were representing the cloud, they were coming from the licensing model and coming to sell for the subscription model.
And there was a lot of suspicion back then.
There was a lot of suspicion about that, whether there is a security problem, where the compliance will happen, where the data will go. Even all these big players were not having their existence in India. When I opted for the public cloud as my platform of choice for the ERP implementation, my nearest data center available was the Singapore. So I was there for some period of time. Then they got me back to the India. So since then I started using cloud, because I saw there is a cloud is a better scalable options for me, and it has proven its capability over a period of time. Whether there was a internal conflicts or whether there was a COVID-like period, we were working 24 into 7 into 365.
Oh,
So that
no
has
disruptions.
no disruption at all.
Wow.
So the choice of technology is completely situational, not by any hype, but definitely by the business value it bringing to me at that point of time.
Perfect. Final question, sir. You were a speaker, a panelist today at Mumbai CDC. What has your experience been like? What was the most exciting part for you?
This is the first time I am attending this conference, and since morning it was a very, very extensive learning for me. I was the consumer side of the data center, but I saw the providers. I learned from them what kind of pain they are taking to ensure that they fulfill my requirement as a consumer of data center. A lot of take home for me. I was not aware some of the certification programs available for data center, which I learned this point. Made a lot of good friends over here. Saw various vendors promoting their product. The way the Indian data center industry is growing, I was only the reader side of that, but now I actually saw what kind of value they are bringing. So it's a extensive and huge learning for attending this conference. Thank you for that, W Media. It was pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir. That concludes our series of interviews here at Mumbai CDC. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Deborah Gray.